coming back to the very beginning of my journey, not going to the gym, not even having a small amount of gym equipment, like home gym equipment I got for my birthday a little bit after the happening I'm going to talk about right now. I talked with a couple of my friends at the school canteen, and on that day I got advice to start using Fitatu, which is like my fitness pal and app to track calories. And that was the moment that I started changing my life around fitness and how my body looked. I went on some pretty strict cut, sometimes eating 1,500 calories, sometimes around a little bit more, sometimes a little bit less even. You could say that it was a little bit of extreme cut, and right now I would agree with you. But I have to admit that at that moment I've done this only because I knew shit about dieting. I knew nothing about cutting or bulking. I knew nothing about the amount of calories you should eat. I basically knew nothing on that. I only knew that you can count calories on your phone. And yet it still changed my life. Throughout 6 weeks, I've dropped 7 kilos. And after those 6 weeks, there was the first time in many, many years where I was actually not angry on how I look. Maybe not angry, but uncontent. It was the first moment when I thought that it's alright. It got better. I'm not proud of how I look, but it's better than it was. It was actually the first time in my life I felt that. And that's where I realize right now that dieting and the bulk cut cycle you go through has more to do than your strength and your gym performance. Of course, it's very important. And if you're pretty advanced right now, if you've already done the things that I'm gonna talk about today, it's good for you to track your diet strictly to your gym performance. So you go in a bulk for multiple months to build strength, and as it goes a little bit too far, because it always goes, you cut down for 3, 4, 5 months, you look better again, and you repeat it. But I used to start this cycle, and I've been kinda doing it throughout the last 2 years, over 2 years already. So from those 87 kilos I was on while I dropped those 7 kilos at the very start, I was on the bulk, my body weight was going up slowly but surely. With this time I started going to the gym, so it made sense that it went up, because mostly it went to muscle. And after some time I started feeling that I'm actually proud of my body. I'm actually proud of how it looks, because I have muscle. My belly is not looking as fat as it used to years before. There's still plump, but it could go. Muscles are there. And my self-confidence was rising. And that is something amazing to feel. But right now, I'm in a place where building muscle works for me, and I'm not gonna stop it. But I realize that it's time to get rid of that belly fully. Because the amount of self-confidence you gain from dropping muscle and dropping fat, of course not dropping muscle, dropping fat, if you are a fat kid, or I suppose the very opposite, building your body weight, your muscle, the density of your body. If you used to be a skinny kid, it works on your psychological drama. You're not even realizing it's there. If you didn't have any athletic kind of childhood, if you used to be too plumpy, too fat, or too skinny, there's probably something inside of your brain, inside of your mind, hidden, not on the first plan, but somewhere hidden, that every bit of progress you see in your body towards getting better in a certain aspect, towards removing the sort of looks that gave you that trauma, will boost your self-confidence significantly. So if you think that you still could improve something, because you know that you should, if you have something like that, it's not that you don't realize it at all. You know that you're a little bit too fat and you'd like to drop a little bit more. Or you know that you're still too skinny and you should put a little bit more. Of course, we're not speaking about anorexia and something like that. I'm not an expert, I'm not a doctor. I don't want you to go there, of course. There's no particular reason why you should. You should, basically. But feeling that you're too plumpy or too skinny and should eat less and more is not anorexia. It's anorexia if you go strictly, if you're skinny and you want to get even skinnier. I don't know the kind of name for the reverse, when you're fat and you think that you should get fatter. Well, there are a lot of people these days that go this way, but it's not actually named. I want you to work towards your self-confidence. So instead of dieting singularly, simply for your gym performance, I think you should diet with the purpose, with the sake of your mind health. So the diet that brings pleasure to your life. Here, don't get me wrong, I don't want you to feel pleasure by implementing some fast food or sugar into your diet. Okay, Emil said I have to feel pleasure from my diet, so I'm gonna eat cake every day. No, shut the fuck up. I want you to feel pleasure from how you feel on the every moment of your life. And it will get brought to you by how your body looks towards the mental image of yourself you have and the mental image you want to crush. Subconsciously you want to destroy the image of a fat kid or a skinny kid you have in your mind. And the way to do that is to focus your dieting, your calorie intake, not solely on the gym. Of course, you still want to maintain some common sense. If you've built muscle for the last 5 years, you don't want to go on a strict cut to drop fat, but also muscle throughout 4 months. But I believe in your common sense. There are some easy ways to actually optimize your diet, because you'd only, the easiest way is of course caloric intake. So you just calculate how much calories you should eat and put a little bit to it or take a little bit out of it. So like multiple percent, 15, 20%, maybe even, towards the goal. If you want to put weight, you eat more. If you want to lose weight, you eat less. I hate how it would offend some people these days. But we're not like that. I hope that if you're hearing those words, it makes sense to you. And now I want you to go about your life and fix that mental trauma, that's something that's inside of your head, at the back of your mind, that stops you from being more confident in life. Go and make your way to a better future.